Have you ever walked away from a conversation with a woman thinking, I said all the right things, so why didn't she feel it? You complimented her, yowist about her day, you listened when she talked, but deep down you could sense she was there physically, but emotionally she wasn't moved. Here's what most men never understand women don't crave. Men who say a lot they crave, men will know what to ask, because the truth is, you could be the most successful man in the room, the best dressed, the smoothest talker, the guy with status, presence, and confidence, but if you don't know how to ask a question that makes her feel, she will forget ya. But ask her something no man ever dared to. Ask her something that touches that bird of her she hides from the world. Ask her something that doesn't just what this video is about sound good, but reaches her deeply, and suddenly you become unforgettable, not because of your looks, not because of your charm, but because you created a moment she didn't even know she was waiting for. That's what this video is about, not just questions that get a response, but questions that leave her quiet, still breathless, questions that stir her memories, her wounds, her passions, questions that show you see the woman beneath the mask. Because when a woman feels deeply understood, not judged, not seduced, not entertained, but truly understood, she'll connect to you in a way she never expected. Once that connection is made, she'll crave it again. So if you're ready, toast a note from 99% of men who talk, just to fill the silence and become the man. Why your conversations will never be the same. Those words echo in her mind long after hour. Come and stay with me, because I am about to give you the 10 most powerful psychology-backed emotionally inland questions a man can ask a woman, and once you learn them, your conversations will never be the same. Let's begin. Most men don't realize this. The reason their conversations fall flat, the reason their texts get ignored, their as in she smiles politely, then disappears forever, isn't because of what they said, but because of what they failed to ask. Because what separates a forgettable conversation from a life-altering one is not how attractive you, or how funny you sound, or how much game you've got. It's something far simpler and far more powerful, your ability to ask the kind of question that speaks to a part, ability to ask the kind of question that speaks to a part of her she's kept hidden from the world. You see, every woman is walking through life carrying a version of herself that almost no one sees. She laughs, she posts, she flirts, she keeps the mask on, but underneath their ear, childhood stories she's never told. There are doubts she can't say out loud. There are versions of herself she misses. There are dreams she keeps buried because the world never gave her space to share them. And while most men keep the conversation shallow, where are you from, what do you do, cool, nice, you if you're watching this, have a rare chance to be different, to ask the kind of questions that don't just make her tick, but make her feel, to ask something that makes her pause, that pulls her into when a woman feels the moment that makes her think, why does it feel so easy to talk to him? Why do I feel safe right now? Why do you want to tell him more? Because when a woman feels safe and not be real, she opens like a door that's been waiting for the right key. And when Chish opens to you emotionally, mentally, even spiritual, if physical connection follows naturally, you won't need to chase her, you won't need to impress her, because you'll beckon the space where she feels most live, and that space, that feeling is what she becomes addicted to. This video is not about cheap tricks. It's not about manipulation or memorized lines. It's about emotional depth. It's about the well-crafted, emotionally attuned question, rare masculine stillness that makes a woman feel like she can finally drop her armor, and the weapon, a well-crafted, emotionally attuned question. So if you've ever felt like women were drawn to you physically but disappeared emotionally, you've ever had a good conversation that led nowhere, or if you've ever wondered how to stand out in a world where women are constantly approached but rarely understood, then stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 10 powerful questions that aren't just good conversation stirs, they're emotional invitations, questions that let her know without saying it. You don't have to be perfect there, you just have to be real. And that's where the connection become unforgettable begin. One, One thing you wish people noticed about you, but never do. This question hits her right, where most people never look. Every woman, no matter how confident she seems, has a part of herself that feels invisible. Maybe it's her intellect, maybe her loyalty, maybe her sense of humor that hides behind polite smiles. When you ask this question, you're not just showing interest, you're showing depth. You're saying, I see that there's more to you than what the world sees, and you want that. Let her answer slowly, don't interrupt. Let the silence linger. Thoughts when she'll open up. 12. Had a moment from your life that changed you forever, but most people wouldn't even know about it. We all have a turning point, so some loud, some silent. This question invites her to reveal a moment that shaped who she is without needing to prove anything. Some loud, some silent. Maybe it was the day she moved out on her own, maybe a quiet heartbreak, or maybe it was the first time she stood up for herself. Whatever it is, this question helps her connect with her inner story and helps you understand what drives her at the core. The key here is your attention. Listen, not just to the words, but to the emotion beneath them. 3. What version of yourself do you miss the most? She may smile or go quiet because this question takes her back to the girl she once was, carefree one, the hopeful one, the old one, or maybe the calm one before heartbreak hardened her. This is where Ash reconnects with her past self, and you get to witness it, and in that moment something subtle happens. She associates you with the return of that feeling, and when a woman feels safe enough to go back in time with you, she's halfway in love already. 4. What's something you've always wanted to do, but never felt safe enough to try? Every woman has a secret dream. Sometimes it's bold, sometimes it's quiet, but most women have been conditioned to shrink those dreams to fit into someone else's expectation. Once you ask this, you're doing more than creating conversation. You're giving her emotional permission to imagine, to hope, to be honest about what excites her. That space, rare, and she'll associate you with the feeling of expansion, not limitation, which is powerfully attractive. If society made you feel the safest in your life, and what did they do that made you trust them? This question isn't about her past. It's a masterclass in learning how to be the man she opens up to, and she's where she's giving you her emotional blueprint for safety. She'll tell you how she likes to be spoken to, how she needs to be listened to, what actions make her drop her guard. Pay close attention here, because in this one question, she hands you the keys to her emotional universe. 6. What do you wish more men actually understood about women, but feel like they never will? This is not a trick question. This is emotional gold most men never ask. It's because they're afraid of the answer, but when you ask it calmly, genuinely, without ego, you invite her into a different kind of connection. Emotional gold. She'll feel respected. She feels seen, and for once she won't have to explain herself from a defensive place. You're saying, I want to understand, even if I didn't have to. That's powerful masculine stillness, and it disarms her completely. 7. What's one thing that makes you feel completely feminine, like you can't finally let go and just be? This question looks polarity in a world where women are constantly in control, taking charge, solving problems. She longs for a moment where she doesn't have to do, she just wants to be. And when you ask this question, you're triggering the deepest feminine desire to surrender, but only to a man she can trust. She'll tell you what lights her up, what calms her, what brings her back to her body, to her softness. And be holding that space without judgment, true to instantly become the man she wants to. Open to 8. What's something about you that you're proud of, but feel like people wouldn't understand? This isn't flattery, this is self-recognition. Based. She's proud of her discipline, maybe. It's how she survived something no one knows about, maybe. She's proud of her quiet talent, or the way she stayed soft in a cruel world. Whatever it is, this question allows her to show you strength wrapped in vulnerability. And when you witness that with respect, not performance, she feels chosen, not for what she shows the world, but for what hides mine. If fear didn't exist, what would you do differently right now? Fear holds everyone back, but for women especially, it's layered. Fear of judgment. If fear didn't exist, fear of safety, fear of being too much or not enough. When you ask this, you give her the gift of imagination without limits. And in that moment, you become the man connected to her liberation. You'll see her eyes light up, her energy shift, their heart speed up a little, and all of it will feel tied to you. 10. What's something you've never said out loud but always wish someone would ask you? This is not a beginner question. This is the one you ask when she already trusts you and she's opened up. When themament feels still intimate around this question hits like thunder in a whisper, because she's been carrying something in her heart, maybe for years, that she thought no one would ever notice. And now you've just invited it. You're her emotional home out. When she answers, it might be quiet, might hesitate, she might even tear up, but once she shares it with you, you're not just a guy anymore, you're her emotional home. And no one forgets the man who finally gave them the space to breathe. These aren't just questions, they're emotional invitations. They don't just move the conversation forward, they move it inward. They don't just make her like you, they make her feel safe to be herself in. That's the gateway to trust, connection, and deep feminine desire. Sano, you know the truth. It's not about saying more, it's not about impressing her with stories, achievements, or smooth lines. It's about asking the kind of questions that make her stop, that make her feel something, that reach into places she rarely lets anyone see. Not you're here to understand her because she's hiding them, but because no one ever thought to ask. Most men go their whole lives never discovering this power. They skim the surface of every connection. They talk a lot, but listen little. They chase her body, but never touch her soul. But not you, because now you have the tools to create emotional depth. You have the questions that show her you're not like the others. You're in it, here to impress her. You're here to understand her. And when a woman feels understood, softens, she opens, she remembers best. You didn't just see her smiley, saw the weight she hides behind it. You didn't just ask her favorite movie, you asked about her dreams, her regrets, her strength, her softness. And for a woman, that kind of presence is rare, it's unforgettable, and it's magnetic. So the next time you talk to her, whether it's in a date, a long walk, or a quiet evening, didn't try to impress her with more gaudy purr, with less. Let your curiosity be calm. Let your voice be grounded, let your energy be still, and ask her the kind of question that makes her feel like Fran. She doesn't need to perform. She just needs to be, because when she feels safe to be real with you, she wants more of that feeling. And that's when attraction becomes devotion. If this video gave you value, make sure to subscribe for more insights grounded in stoicism, masculine energy, and emotional intelligence. Drop a like, it helps the massage reach more men who are ready to level up. And leave a comment below. Which question hit you the hardest? Which Oni Trodo you wish someone had asked you? We're building a brotherhood of calm, grounded, powerful men who don't play games. We build connection through presence and purpose. This is the Thought Tiller, and you're in it just here to talk. You're here totally to listen and to leave a lasting impact. Next time, stay sharp, stay centered, and never forget, it's not what you say that makes her feel something, it's how deeply you